The restoration, I think it was 2018 or 2019. I know the first seeding that we did was in the month of December. I'm Tim Smith. I'm Director of Land Management for the Crane Trust here in Wood River, Nebraska. The area of Mormon Island that the Crane Trust owns is right at 2,000 acres. On that site specifically, it has been used for agriculture for over 50 years.
Mormon Island is an island created by the channels in the Platte River. It is one of the largest remaining intact tall grass prairies in the central Platte River Valley, and it has wet meadows that are fed by groundwater. I'm Bethany Ostrom. I am currently a grad student at UNK, finishing up my thesis on soundscape ecology. Soundscape ecology is essentially the study of the soundscape around us. You might be able to hear the transitions between a forest and a prairie, or the river and a wetland, and trying to figure out the relationship between what we call biophony, which is the sounds of birds, frogs, insects. Also geophony, which is the wind or rain or thunder, stuff that's caused by nature but not caused by something that's living. Since 2019, I've had some audio recorders set out on Mormon Island, and they've been collecting audio recordings of the natural soundscape. Currently, I'm using those recordings and I'm trying to figure out how we can use them for potential passive monitoring. There's these things called acoustic indices, which are essentially equations that calculate different characteristics of audio recordings. And we're trying to see if the results of these acoustic indices relate to what's actually out there in the community, if it relates to the bird community or if it relates to the Inuring community and what sings at night. We've been using cameras for quite a lot. We have a camera out on a restoration right now, out on Mormon. We're just capturing the changes from season to season on that restoration.
The time-lapse cameras, the footage that they give us, it's neat to compare to what you're seeing on the transects. The good thing about the time-lapse cameras is that it's interesting to a broad range of people that we can use as a tool to teach others why we're doing what we're doing. Our partners, whether it's the Game and Parks, Fish and Wildlife Service, Prairie Plains Resource Institute, collecting the seed, providing the seed. We used a mix from Prairie Plains that had over 140 species, and then after that it's waiting for it to do its magic. So as it goes through early succession to late succession grassland, it'll start out with a lot of what people would call weedy species, sunflowers, ragweed, and then it would slowly transition to fill in with more and more grasses. Every site is different, but you can expect 3 to 5 years before it starts to look like a natural grassland.
Right now, it's just cool to see the changes and present those. This is what a restoration looks like at the beginning of when we're planting seed, and this is what it looks like 3 years later, and here are the changes in between. That's been pretty cool.
The biggest thing about land management is it's always changing and you have to stay up with the times. There's always new science coming out, leading you in different directions, and being able to stay on top of that and doing what's best for the landscape is the big priority.